Thank you for stopping by, Buttercup. I'm so glad to see you because this video is my March Irish themed TBR because during the month of March, because of St. Patrick's Day, I read all things Irish. That means that the book is set in Ireland, the main character is Irish, or the writer is Irish. I have a lot of books that I'm trying to catch up on by Morgan Llewellyn. She is one of my favorite authors of all time. She's Irish American and she currently lives in Ireland in her older age. So she counts, okay? She counts. But I added some other books, not really 2 books, to try and mix things up. It's maybe possibly just a Morgan Llewellyn month for this particular March for 2024. It's fine. But I'm going to start with the books that are not written by Morgan Llewellyn. The first one is Early Irish Myths and Songs. This is a Penguin classic. It's a little shiny, sorry. And I'm excited for this. It's not too long, but then again, I will be stumbling over these words and the pronunciation of Celtic languages. I can barely speak English half the time, so this is gonna be great. But I'm gonna give myself some grace because all Celtic languages are very difficult to learn, and if you're not even a person that's trying to speak it or currently learning it or have grown up around it, it's difficult. It is. I have been told that learning languages as you are older, because I didn't learn it as a kid, but correct me if I'm wrong, I've been told this several times, that if you are trying to learn a language as an adult, the brain lights up similarly when you're learning math, and I have a math disability. I can only get to 3rd grade level math. Yes, great, thank you so much. So that would probably explain why I can't pick up any language and I still struggle with English, specifically phonics. So jumping into the second book that is non-Morgan Llewellyn, and this is The Toyin. You don't think that that's how that is pronounced, and I had to think about that. And I had to look up the pronunciation. Thank you so much again for this copy for a whole pronunciation section, because, oh my gosh, you see this and you don't think what I just said. I was thinking when I first saw this, the Tain. That's not it. But love the cover. I know of these stories because my grandmother said them aloud to me when I was younger, and she was better at Celtic languages than I was, and she pronounced most of these words correctly. But I am just really excited that there is a pronunciation guide in this book, because I'm looking at these pronunciations and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. That was basically the same for when I was writing Danu's Curse, and I put a glossary in the front, and those were the hardest to say words that I still even struggle with. So sometimes I'll look through and I'm like, that's how you say it. And another thing that's interesting with Irish specifically is that there could be 3 slightly different ways that you say it, and then also if you have an accent, you're not going to say it 100% as you would if you're Irish and you speak Gaelic, or you have background in like Welsh or Gaelic or something, something like that. I have a very American accent and I struggle with phonics, so I'm just present. I'm just here for the fun ride. Now, the first book up that is Morgan Llewellyn is The Last Prince of Ireland. I read this when I was younger. I do not remember it. Therefore, I'm going to read it again. And this is really about the most tragic turning point in Irish history, and that's 1601, where the last prince is Donald Cam O'Sullivan, and he does not want to surrender Ireland, but spoiler, he does not succeed. Yeah, it's sad. This is going to be a sad book. You get into the Irish historical fiction, like The Last Prince and the other books that I'm going to show. Not the happiest, okay? But I expect that. I expect it, unfortunately. Now, The Red Branch. Ooh, no, actually, you know, this one might be pretty fun because this is the fictionalized version of The Red Branch, which is very important to Irish history and culture and even legends and myths. So much is talked about and shown and created, you know, inspired by the Red Branch. Now, what is the Red Branch? Well, this is part of the Ulster cycle involving Cuchulainn. I'm gonna go with Cuchulainn. I think that's right. Cuchulainn is a very famous Irish warrior, and a lot of legends are written about him and the Red Branch. Next up is 1999. This is the final book in the Irish Century book series, and I've been holding off reading this because I want to have read it, this final book in that series that I really enjoyed, for March 2024. And I really enjoyed the other books, so I'm excited to get into 1999. And this is around the time where the Troubles are wrapping up. I'm sure because in like other books, the other books in this series, Morgan does years before 1999, during 1999, and then after 1999. So I am excited to see where she's going to touch on first, then lead up to 1999, where the Troubles kind of resolve peacefully. I'm sure people will debate that, but let's just say, for wrapping up sake and not going on to a huge conversation about Irish history and the Troubles, but wrapping up for 1999, and then possibly seeing if she goes into a little bit of like 2000 to 2004 or something, because usually she will choose a very important date or year in Irish history, and she'll definitely talk about that specific time, 1999. But then, you know, go on a little bit after to see the effect. Really interested in seeing her thoughts on the effects of 1999 and ending the Troubles. The second to final book in this TBR is Lion of Ireland, and we are following Brian Boru. This is a very famous, real historical figure that is also a very well-known king and warrior, but this is not in ancient times. It was really hard to find Lion of Ireland, and I'm happy that this is a good used copy, because the other copies, yeah, they were barely hanging on. I know that there are some books that are being recovered and reprinted. I don't think Lion of Ireland is one of them, so I'm happy I found this copy, and I'm going to very much enjoy reading it. And then the last one, this was also really freaking hard to find as well, and it's very used. It's Pride of Lions, and it's actually Brian Boru. I have to see which one is first. Is Pride of Lions and Lion of Ireland. I just remembered now. I blanked out, I'm so sorry. These two are related, but I have to remember which one goes first, or else I'm going to very much confuse myself. Wow. Okay, sometimes, you know what? When you have a very big backlog, like Morgan Llewellyn does, you just forget stuff. And I'm so sorry, Brian. Yes, I will get to that. I will figure that out. Now, this might be ambitious, and it could very well be. However, the last 9, let's go with 9, months, I have read over 10 books, and this isn't even 10 books. So, do I get to all of them within the month of March? Probably, but I think the ones that would be making me read slower are the 2 non-Morgan Llewellyn books, because they are going to be translated and they are hundreds, if not thousands of years old, and that's just a different type of sentence structure, punctuation, I don't know. The grammar might be a little interesting as well, and just like, it's probably going to be dense. So I'm going to probably read a few fiction books first, and then jump into those 2 older texts, and then do some more Morgan Llewellyn. We'll see how that goes though. Thank you so much for watching this video all about Irishness for the month of March. I will see you in the next video, and go out and read at least one, just like at least one, book, poem, short story, maybe even a play by someone who is Irish. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.